How do you know the characteristics of this God?
He told him.
See, that's a different question.
No,
How
it's
do you
not.
know he
It's
told
not.
you?
Unless God tells
He
you.
hasn't told me.
My friend.
See what I'm saying?
I know he hasn't told you, but you still believe in it. Maybe your belief
Because
is based
it
on.
makes sense. You can't say that there isn't a God. It doesn't. That doesn't.
I
Make
agree.
sense.
I agree. So you have gone beyond the point of agnosticism,
Yeah.
where you have said, okay, now to me, logically, God does exist.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where you are now is that you haven't found out what God is, but you know that I cannot think of anything other than God to bring all this into existence. Am I right?
Exactly.
So you're in a position of belief in God through your deductive reasoning, through your inference, and I'm of a position where I know that God is not only existing, but He did not leave us here without any guidance. See what I mean?
And I think that's the.
Yeah, so I'm
that's
coming.
where it
That's
is,
what I
yeah.
was telling you earlier at the very beginning. That when God created us, He did not create us to fend for ourselves without any guidance. Every nation out there has been sent a messenger to warn them and to guide them. Yes, warn them of the consequences of disobedience to God and about the shaitan who will mislead you. Yes, and to guide you to the truth so that you will be guided and you will save yourself and your family from eternal damnation. Okay? And that's why I'm saying you have to believe in these prophets and messengers and the revelation that they brought to you. And in order to do that, you will have to examine the scriptures. Yes? So you'll have to read the Quran and you'll have to read the other books and then find out for yourself what is the truth.
Yeah, yeah, that
See
I
what
know.
I mean?
Of course, that I know. Yeah, 100%.
You
that I
have
do
to
know.
you have to work for it. You can't just expect everything to be spoon-fed to you. Yes? Even though if God wanted to, He could have done that to you. He could have shown you a clear sign as a miracle.
But you say being spoon-fed, but obviously, like, you know, creating a book, that's basically being spoon-fed. If there's a book, they're telling you this is it. That's basically.
No, it's not. It's not really because how many people know that the Quran exists? That they don't read the Quran even though it's there. So it's not really being
Yeah, but the way
spoon-fed.
I'm thinking is, it's less of being spoon-fed than someone telling you this is the truth. That's more.
Yeah, I know that is not spoon-feeding. It is something that you have to work. So you have to literally read it, understand it, ask questions, come to a realization that this message is from God, or why this message is not from God. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to work hard for that. You can't just expect it to be something that is, like in the Matrix. They just, download it, a program, and you become someone who can, fly a helicopter, for example.
Yeah?
So it's not as simple as that. That's what I mean by spoon feeding.
Yeah.
It is something you have to work hard towards.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Okay? So there's a reason that Allah gave us the Quran as a revelation and gave us the previous messages. Like to Jesus, the Injil was given, and to Moses, the Torah was given, and to David, the Zabur was given. Yes? Every single nation out there, they had certain messages delivered to them, because what happened was, when one prophet would come or messenger would come, over time that message would get corrupted. Yes? So then another prophet would come to rectify what had been corrupted and give them a fresh message from God again to rectify and to bring them back to the straight path.
But
Now the
that's a
Quran.
good- yeah, but how can you believe that these prophets were telling the truth? Like,
Because they came not only with a book, but they came with certain signs which only prophets and messengers could do, like the miracles, like splitting the Red Sea by Moses, like bringing the dead back to life by Jesus, yes, like splitting of the moon by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these were signs which, when people saw them, they cannot deny this. They say that this cannot be from an ordinary person. And if those prophets and messengers themselves say that this power is not from me, but from the God who created me, then it's clear that there is something out there which gave them that ability, which is supernatural. Yes?
right, and how you know that these occurrences actually happened?
From the testimony of many people. There are many people around that time who
Obviously,
testified this.
There were humans, and obviously humans can,
Do you not believe in human testimony?
I'm saying no, but can humans make errors?
Yes, they can.
So it's
But
possible that they made errors.
Yeah, but if you're getting hundreds of thousands of
It
people,
doesn't matter how many people.
no, it does matter. It does matter because testimony is such that when there is a a large proportion of people who testify to the same thing from different places, from different generations, and they all give you the same narrative, then there is some truth in that.
I'm not saying there isn't any truth, but I'm saying, is it possible that they could all be wrong?
No.
How's it not? They're humans though, so obviously.
Okay, give me an example.
No, but I'm saying it's a possibility though.
No, it is
you
not.
You can't say it's not. It can't.
My friend, look, if that is the case, then you wouldn't believe your parents are your parents. You know why? Because there's only two people.
You are right though.
Hear me out. There's only two people who told you.
That's a belief.
Yes.
That's not like I know for a fact. That's what I'm saying. There's a possibility.
If you're
my parents are not my parents.
Okay, so what do you believe? What do you believe is?
It's a belief. Though,
how do you ascertain truth? Only by seeing it? How do you ascertain truth?
You're going off topic. Like I asked you a question. No, asked you a question.
Directly.
No, but I asked you a question. Is it possible that all these people were wrong? Is it a possibility? The answer can't be.
No, not all of them. All of them cannot be wrong. You know why? Because this is how evidence works. Evidence is not just by observation only, not by you seeing only. If that was the case, have you ever been to the doctors?
I have, yeah.
You have. Have you asked the doctor for his certificate? For his qualification?
Again, that's a belief though.
No,
but I believe that my doctor is
my friend,
a doctor.
You need to understand testimony. Okay? Testimony is based on trust.
I'm not saying it's not though. Like I'm not arguing against you.
Okay. So that is what I mean by testimony of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people is based on trust, not just belief. Because belief can be blind belief. For example, you know that example I gave you of the flying pig? That could be a blind belief. People could just say yes because somebody told them that.
Right.
They believe it blindly.
Exactly.
Yes. But when you have hundreds of thousands of people narrating to you from different parts of the world the same thing, then that is a testimony based on trust.
Hundreds of thousands of people saw the split of the sea or the Red Sea? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, why not? There were lots of people who came from
hundreds of thousands saw that. Is that what you were saying?
That's the thousands, okay? Even if it's thousands of people.
Okay, that's
even if it's thousands of people, would you just deny their testimony?
You won't deny it, but I'm saying you can't just accept it.
Yeah. By the way, those miracles weren't for you. They were for those people.
I'm not saying they were.
But you know why we have veered off the topic now again? Because you asked me about.
Is it possible? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the miracles. Wait a minute. The miracles were for those people who witnessed it. Yes.
Yeah, for the 1,000 people that would witness it.
Now, what would make you deny their testimony that they witnessed it?
I'm not saying they were wrong or right. I'm saying to you, is it possible that they're not telling the truth? It's a possibility.
Okay, because these miracles are based on the Quran, and the Quran is something which you will have to test before you say it's false or it's unbelievable. My belief is based on that, on the Quran.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so imagine we're talking about something completely different that's not based on the Quran. Is it possible that
in that case, it's possible.
That's what I'm saying.
But the possibility of that, for example, is it possible that a doctor could not be a doctor in the NHS?
Of course it's possible.
It is possible, of course. But we know, and that's the reason we don't ask every doctor, in fact any doctor, I don't know about you, but I haven't asked any doctor to show me their qualifications.
I haven't either, no.
Exactly. So what does tell us that? It brings us back to the testimony by trust and not blind faith. It is based on trust. Because you and I trust the NHS, the National Health Service, that they would generally not employ people who are, I don't know, quacks. You know what I mean?
But trust is a belief, it's still faith.
No, trust is belief based on certain characteristics. For example, if I believe every Tom, Dick and Harry, I wouldn't call that trust. I would call that blind faith.
Of course,
But for me, trust is based on not only the characteristics of that system, for example, the NHS, also the person. Like for example, if your parents told you something, and if any strangers told you something on the road, your acceptance of that, whatever the fact or non-fact is, will depend on the person who's telling you, right?
Of course.
And that's why we say it is based on trust. Are you with me now?
I'm with you, 100%.
Good. Same thing with the authors of a book. If you read any book by anyone without knowing the author, you would doubt what they said. Yes? But if you knew that the author of this book is someone who's trustworthy, and they would never lie, and they have not in their entire history have you found any evidence of them telling lies, then you're more likely to trust it. And that is where the religious books and the scriptures come. Okay? When you have a book which says very clearly that if this book is from anyone other than Allah, then surely you'll find discrepancies in it. Surely you'll find contradictions in it. And then people all over for the 1400 years have tried their best to find contradictions in it. and did not find any contradictions in it, then my trust in that book improves.
No, of
Isn't
course,
it?
I know what you
It
mean.
increases
yeah,
even more.
But
then there are certain books which claim that it is from God, and then I read one chapter and I find lots of contradictions. Then my trust in that book, or that book which claims to be from God, is shattered.
Of course, I know what you mean.
That's the reason I said trust is paramount.
Trust is paramount. Again, I think we are going back in circles. But all I'm saying is, even
we have different criteria to accept
you can
information.
trust a human, but humans are still flawed. So we don't know for a fact, like 100% fact, that this human, even the doctor that you trust, is a doctor. You can't say that it's a fact.
Okay. So if a human is guided, chosen by God and guided by God, and you know from their history that they haven't told lies, yes, they haven't been, even their enemies said that he's called Al-Amin, I'm talking about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the trustworthy, then there is very little doubt left for you to say he would, out of the blue, just start preaching about the oneness of God.
Little doubt, you said little doubt, so there is still a doubt. That's all I'm saying.
No, but that doubt, again, you'll have to substantiate it. Why would you doubt even little? See what I mean?
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying, look, human nature, we are critical in our analysis. Yes, we critique everything we see. But once you have been given evidence after evidence of the truth, even by the enemies of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, trusting him, yes, and calling him, giving him the title of Al-Amin, the most trustworthy, then what is there for you to say he's someone who delivered the message in a wrong way, or somehow corrupted the message that he was asked to deliver? See what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's why I said you should always look at the person that you're getting the message from, whether it's your parents, whether it's your teachers, whether it is the NHS, whether it is a prophet of God or someone who says they are a God man. Yes, test the character, test the person. If they are someone that has always spoken the truth, then you're more likely to trust them. But if you find even one shred of dishonesty, then you will have doubt. See what I mean?
No.
And this is how human beings operate. Yes? We cannot be hypercritical about everything, hyper-skeptical about everything. Otherwise, imagine going through the time that you wake up until the time you sleep on a daily basis. Your life will be impossible. See what I mean?
It would be, yeah.
Because only a person who has lost his senses will go through this hardship of trying to prove every single moment of his life.
Yeah.
Hyper-skeptical, I think, is a mental disorder.
That's if you want to prove it. You don't have to prove it. You can just live your life and, just take it day by day. You don't have to prove every little thing that you don't know about.
Yeah. But if something is so important that your afterlife depends on it. Now, this is something we haven't spoken about, the afterlife. I don't know what your understanding of that is. But if this life is a test and this life is temporal, yes, then it is to be taken seriously by anyone who believes in an afterlife which is eternal.
Yeah, no, obviously,
see what I mean?
Everything you were saying is based on your religion, really. So, to be honest, I'm not even against religions in general. I really believe there is a lot of hidden meanings in the Bible, in the Quran. It's all, to me, it's all esoterical. You need to read between the lines.
Why would God give you if God wants to save you, then why would he give you cryptic messages?
No, but you are saying that God gave it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
No,
God...
but you mentioned the Bible and the Quran, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, why would God give you cryptic messages if he wants...
Yeah, but who's saying God gave it? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that God...
My friend, you mentioned the Bible and the Quran. That's why I'm bringing this point up.
Yeah, but you believe that the Bible...
You said to read between the lines.
Yeah, exactly.
There are hidden messages.
Yeah.
You were referring to God, right?
No, I wasn't referring to God.
Okay, whom is the Bible from?
I don't know who the Bible is from.
Well, they claim it's from God.
That's what they claim. I'm not claiming that.
Whom is the Quran from?
Well, you claim it's from God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you refer to these books, then what is mentioned in there is about God.
It's about God, but I'm not saying that God is the one who revealed. I'm not saying that you are saying that.
Okay, let me ask you. What is your understanding of the Bible and the Quran?
Well,
be honest.
No, there are books that were written by humans.
Yeah. But where did that knowledge come from?
Well, obviously we know that it came from a divine source. That's what I'm told.
Is that your belief?
That's what I'm told. That's not what I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you about you, not about others.
Yeah.
I'm asking about you.
But I just told you.
Where do you think
it was written from humans?
Okay, so where do you think that knowledge came from? Because if you, I don't know, have you read the Quran?
No.
Okay, maybe I should give you a free copy today.
I'll take it.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
So, if you read the Quran, there are many things in there which people 50 years ago wouldn't know. Yes? And there are things in there which other generations and other nations, in their books is written as well. Certain things which are common knowledge. So, if there are things in the Quran which humans wouldn't know about 50 years ago, and the Quran was revealed 1400 years ago, then where do you think that knowledge came from?
And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of esoterical meanings behind.
What do you mean by esoteric?
You know, like you don't. To me, you can't take it literal. Like,
No, why not?
there's a lot of-
Why not?
That's just what I believe. You know.
So if the Quran says that the sun and the moon rotate in their own orbits, yes, which people at 1400 years ago, a man who is not learned in Arabia, in a desert, would have no clue about this, then how is it possible that he would make such an assertion in the Quran and then says that this is not from me but from my Lord?
To be honest, I can't give you the answer because I wasn't there at that time. I don't know how science works. I don't know how smart those people were.
I'm asking you to use your reasoning.
No, yeah, but I don't believe that these people that you are claiming were.
Could the knowledge come from God?
It could.
Could they have been informed by God what is in the Quran?
But you know,
all the other scriptures?
I'm saying it is possible. Like I've literally been saying anything could be possible. But I'm also saying I don't believe that these people back in the day were like kind of like stupid, or they never had the tools to understand science and how the stars work.
If a person didn't know how to read and write, yes, would they have such information?
They
I
could.
don't mean just about astronomy, about geology, about oceanography, about human beings, about reproduction system, everything, my friend.
Only if.
And not only that he got all those things right, but all these different fields of sciences which we have categorized as different fields of science.
Yeah.
How could he have got it all right and he didn't know how to read and write?
No, so obviously there's two possibilities. He either came from God, or the people at that time weren't stupid, or they, maybe they knew more than we think they did.
Fair enough. Could it be possible, from all the things that he heard from different people, yes, he could have picked things which were right, and also picked things which were wrong, because he wasn't.
It's possible.
But hear me out.
Yeah.
Now, what is the possibility of him picking only the right things?
I mean,
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I go based on...
I know about possibility.
I understand.
Yeah.
Based on your, your analysis, it is possible for him to pick right and pick wrong only. But if a person who didn't know how to read and write only picked the right things from these different fields of sciences and fields in philosophy and in philology and so on, then you would say, look, there's no way that he could have picked only the right things from all these different fields. You see what I mean?
So you brought up possibilities, right?
Yeah.
So
honestly, think about it.
No, exactly. But
could it be possible that he got it right all the time?
Okay, but so back in those days, how many religions were there?
Loads. Even today, there are loads.
Exactly. So there were loads of religions, isn't it? So it's possible that there were prophets who claimed that they got.
Oh no, there were no prophets in his time.
No, I'm saying back in those days, there was a lot of religions, right? Yeah.
So what?
So what I'm saying is, I'm sure there were people within those religions who were making claims.
How does that answer my question?
No, I'm gonna try and answer you.
Okay. Do you remember my question?
Let me try. Yes, I do.
What is it?
No, let me just say what I'm saying first. Yeah.
Enough.
All right. Let me try and get my words together.
Okay.
So there were a lot of different religions, and then you said that there was like in Islam, like Muhammad got everything right. So I'm sure there were religions where like there was a guy who got one thing right and then another thing wrong, and based on probability that got removed, and there was only one religion left that got everything right because of the probability of it getting it right.
I like the way you made this up, but there was no there was no such religion during his time which your probability would put in your model. Because we knew the people around him. They used to bury their daughters alive.
No, so
he came and said this is wrong.
So are you saying you knew every single religion of that time?
Well, from his...
You said there was like hundreds of religions. So
no. At his time means around the world, not in his area.
Around the world,
okay.
Yeah.
In his area...
In the area.
No. In his area, it was mostly paganism. So they used to worship idols, So it is henotheistic. So they would worship the true God, but then they would also worship these other idols. Like they had like 360 idols in the Kaaba before it was before it became under Muslims. Yes, and that's why I'm telling you. Look, for you to make this model up, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was able to filter out all the bad things and only maintain the right things. That was a question to you.
Yes, but you said there was like 100 different religions back in the day, right?
No, I said around the world.
Around the world,
not in his time. So in his area, it was mostly paganism, and maybe Christianity, and maybe Judaism. So these were the only three. Yeah.
In the area.
Yeah. So these were the three main religions practiced in his area. So your model doesn't work here, even if there were hundreds of religions. You know why?
You brought up hundreds. I didn't bring up, but you said there was hundreds.
No. Even if there were hundreds, your model wouldn't work.
Why not?
Unless and until you knew that such a filtration actually took place.
Yeah, but you were the one who said that he got everything right, and there's a possibility that how can he not get everything? Like if he got one thing wrong.
That was the question I asked you.
Exactly. So I'm saying based on probability.
No. Your probability doesn't work. I know you like probabilities, but even in your probability model, it wouldn't work unless and until you were able to show me that such a filtration took place. Because your probability, again, just assumes, it's a claim.
Yeah,
yes?
But it's possible.
No.
It's possible.
My friend, probabilities are not accepted like that. Because there are many people who say that probably Shakespeare could be written if you give it hundreds of thousands of years by animals. Probably. Yeah?
You
see what I mean?
But that's stupid.
No. But this is what some people who study statistics say, and these are scientists who are
saying this?
Go and look it up. I'm not just making this up.
But you are making the claim that some.
Yeah. So these people, they say that probably if you give it hundreds of, mostly atheists, they say if you give it hundreds of thousands of years, probably a monkey could write Shakespeare.
Obviously, I'm not an atheist. You know I'm not an atheist.
I know you're not, but because I say using probability,
which
people could assume most stupidest things. Okay?
Yeah,
but that doesn't make it true.
It doesn't make it true.
So anyway, let's come back.
Even if it sounds stupid, it's still a possibility.
That's exactly my point.
You've been hit by thunder right now. It's a possibility, but it might sound stupid.
But that's not outlook. Being hit by thunder, we know from experience that people happen. Okay, but we know from experience that monkeys cannot write Shakespeare.
Exactly.
There you go. So one probability is more what do you say? More believable.
Exactly.
More believable.
Probable of happening.
Yeah, because we know from experience it happened. Another is not. That's why I can discard certain probabilities or statistics, which are just claims basically.
Yeah,
wild guesses, wild assumptions.
Yeah, but you can't say. I don't believe you can say that.
So let's get back to because I think that question of again I think it is based on probability. If I'm not right, if I'm right, how is it possible for certain things which are metaphysical, for them to be eternal, other than God? So I don't think that has been answered.
Yeah, I know we're going like. After that, really, I came here for him there, for you to discuss with him. So
he's next in queue.
Yeah. So he's speaking right now.
Yeah, he's speaking to.
Yeah. You know what? So what's the question?
The question is anything that is metaphysical.
Right.
What would probably make them eternal? Using probability. Your favorite topic.
Yeah. The only thing that we can relate to is God. Obviously, we know God is eternal.
Yeah. So God is not part of this question. We know that God is eternal, so that is something we both agree on. What I want to focus on is what we don't agree on, because I personally believe that only God can be eternal, no other being, regardless of whether they are physical or metaphysical. That's my understanding, that's my belief, and that comes from one of the definitions of God, that He's eternal and no one else is like it.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
So you agree nothing can be eternal other than God?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, that's progress. Okay, so if I were to ask you, based on what you know about Islam, I don't know how much you know.
Not much.
Okay, from what you know, what do you think about Islam?
I mean, from what I know, Muhammad is the prophet of God, and he got revelations, I believe, from an angel, and And this is where your religion is based off, basically.
Okay.
Like from that claim.
So, if the concept of God in Islam, is different to Christianity, to Judaism, to even definitely Hinduism, and all the other religions in the world. Yes? I don't know what do you know about the concept of God. I've already explained much to you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
is there
yeah.
something that you have, like, I don't know, that you would object to?
The only thing that I can object to is we can't trust man 100%. That's all I'm saying.
Can you trust God?
You can. You can.
100%?
100%.
Okay. So if
But
God
I don't
gives,
believe we can trust man 100%.
if God elects a messenger and gives the message to him, then would you trust that man? God elects the messenger.
Yeah, you would trust that man, of course, like based on evidence. But again, we haven't got the evidence to kind of, I believe, that to prove.
Okay. So what criteria would, I don't know, convince you that this messenger has been approved and accredited by God?
I don't think there is. Like, I don't think.
I think there is. To me, Jesus is one of those messengers. To me, Moses is one of those messengers. To me, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon all of them, is that messenger.
Yeah.
Abraham was such a messenger. Yes? David was such a messenger.
Yeah.
Yes? Just like the Quran says, every nation has been sent a messenger to warn them and to guide them.
Right.
So why would I not trust these messengers? Because you know what? If an angel came to me, there's a possibility I wouldn't just believe it, like that.
But the thing is,
unless and until I've been shown that this angel is from God.
But I'm not saying you shouldn't trust it. I'm saying I don't believe, I can't trust a man. That's what I'm saying. Because we know men are flawed.
No, you do trust me. We already established
We did, but no,
exactly.
but
So what would...
It's a trust, but it's not a fact that they're telling the truth.
No, but my friend, you need to tell me...
Going back to possibilities.
No, you need to tell me the criteria. What would convince you or not convince you that man is being accredited by God?
In terms of the metaphysical, there isn't a criteria that we can use.
No. By his own testimony. When a man comes and tells you that he's a prophet of God, what is the criteria?
Everything he says could be false.
Yeah, but that means you won't trust anyone in the world. Not even your parents. Because they are humans as well.
Yes, of course.
So I know you're not that kind of person who's hyper skeptical. We have already established that you would trust the testimony of people you trust.
I'm hyper skeptical on the metaphysical because we haven't.
We are not talking about the metaphysical. We're talking about testimony, my friend.
Yeah, but if someone claims that they've been that an agent spoken to them, that is.
Sorry, if somebody claims.
And that an angel has spoken to them.
Yeah.
That's based on the metaphysical. Am I right?
Yeah.
So
what if God has spoken to them? Then what?
That's still based on the metaphysical.
Okay, so you wouldn't trust anyone if they claim that God has spoken to them?
Yes, because how can I know that they're telling the truth?
Okay. Can God communicate to humans if he wanted to?
I would assume so. If he wanted to, maybe he could. I don't know because
Maybe?
I don't know for sure.
Why are you
what
limiting
God is.
God?
Because I don't know what God is.
Can God speak?
I don't know what God is. I know that there
My
has
friend,
to be a
look.
God from the beginning.
If you think that God cannot even communicate with you.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying there's a possibility he could.
Okay. How would God guide you without communicating with you?
He could guide you through your dreams.
That's communication.
Right.
Dreams is communication.
Right. Yeah. Through your dreams or through signs, like.
Yeah, so these are different mediums you're telling me.
Yes, exactly.
So if you would you believe a dream?
But if I claim, okay, I would believe a dream, yeah.
You would?
Yeah, I mean.
So let me get this right. You wouldn't believe a trustworthy man, but you would believe a dream.
But believing what's believe that it's the truth.
Exactly.
No, like I wouldn't believe that it's the truth, but it depends on what you believe by.
I don't know what you mean by believe that.
No, but what do you mean by believe?
When you believe something, that means you accept that as truth. That's what belief means, isn't it? Why would you believe something that is not the truth? I don't understand. It's illogical. So if you would believe a dream, why would you not believe a trustworthy man?
No,
or
sir,
a woman?
I mean, I won't believe a dream. No, I won't. Sorry,
okay.
Let me say no.
So you want to backtrack? That's
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
No problem.
Yeah.
Whom would you believe in your life?
If what?
I'm saying 100%.
Yeah.
Would you believe anyone in your life?
I would.
Whom?
But that's based
Whom would you believe?
Parents.
Why?
Like doctors, based on evidence.
So they are humans.
Yeah.
They are humans.
Yeah.
So I'm going based on your principle. Your principle
But
was they're humans. Why would I believe them?
Parents and doctors. I'm not talking about the metaphysical. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, I don't know why bringing the metaphysical in.
Because that's what I'm hyper skeptical about. I'm not hyper skeptical.
But
about
God
my
is
parents
metaphysical.
not.
You
He
already
is.
believe God.
Yeah, but
So the next question which follows. So let's not argue about things which we already believe.
It makes sense.
My friend,
all this can't come from.
Let's not argue about things which we both already believe in. There's no point in
I'm not arguing
Good.
about that. Yeah.
So we already established God exists. We already established God communicates. Or not?
How do I know he communicates? I don't know if he does or not. I know there isn't an original source. We all came from something. That is a greater power. But how do I know?
What do you think is the purpose of God?
I can't give you that. Like, I know that you know based on your religion, but I can't give you that answer.
So how did you come to the conclusion that
there is a God?
That this God has these characteristics?
I didn't mention any characteristics.
Okay. Do you believe God has characteristics? And this is important for the Muslims because we believe in the Asma wa Sifat, which is the names and the attributes of God. And that's how we distinguish God from someone who claims to be God or some other religion who claims that God is the truth.
And you know how I was saying, I believe that the Bible and the Quran has like esoterical information. And there's information in these books that are true. If the Quran says that God has characteristics, I would say that's true. I would believe that. I don't know why I would believe it, but that to me makes sense.
Okay.
God does have characteristics.
Look, in a way, it seems to me that you have certain, belief in God's revelation. Yeah? To some extent. Because look, to me, if God just exists, and I think this could be a deistic position. You know the deistic position?
No.
So a deist is someone who believes that God created everything.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't interfere in his creation. He just leaves it as it is. Yes?
See, but I don't believe that. But see, I don't know. But again, the only thing that I do know, we all came from something.
Yeah. So we as Muslims, we believe that God didn't just leave you unguided.
Yeah.
God always guides you throughout the generations. He's always guided you and he always will. So that is what I'm saying, my friend. If you believe in God, then you need to understand the purpose of your existence, why he created you, and at least what God expects of you, what he desires of you. So as a person who believes in God, these questions are natural. See what I mean?
Yeah, they are.
So have you got an answer to these questions?
I don't have an answer.
Yeah, so what I mean is, if you ask these questions and your questions are unanswered, then I think it's only fair that you're still seeking. But then in order to seek something, you still need a criteria. You see, when I say something is the truth or not, yes, I base it on a criteria. Okay? So if anybody tells me that they are God, I already have certain criteria in my mind that would prove to me whether this person is telling the truth or not. Or if somebody comes and tells me I'm a messenger of God, again I have a set of criteria which I would use to determine whether it's telling the truth or not. That's why I'm saying, as a person who's seeking the truth, who's seeking knowledge, you as an intelligent person will have developed these criteria. You remember earlier we went back and forth with regards to what testimony you would believe, what is the truth you will accept and what you will reject. So all this, I don't know if you realize, I was asking you again and again, what is your criteria? Okay? So that's why I'm saying, for a person, and this is human nature, we all have certain criteria in the back of our minds, which we use in order to determine if something is a truth or not. See what I mean? That's why I'm saying, when you read a book which claims to be from God, then you should have certain criteria as well. Because in that book, it claims that certain people are the messengers of God. In that book, it claims God is such and such. And then if every religion, there are hundreds and thousands of religions out there, and they all claim theirs is the truth. They all claim that their God is the truth.
But I think that
I don't think we have a life which is long enough for us to investigate every religion. So my criteria
depends on what you mean by what is life, basically. No, it depends on what you mean by what is life.
What is?
Life.
Life.
That's what I meant.
Life means
when I talk about the whole soul thing, like, obviously that could be life as well. That could be eternal.
No, your life means until you die. Okay? And no one denies that they will die one day. Whether you're atheist, agnostic, religious, irreligious, everyone will come to the conclusion that one day we have to die. This is one fact no one will deny. See what I mean? So that's what I mean by life. Until you...
What about the soul? Will that perish as well?
No. That actually means separation of the soul from the body.
Right, okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean that once that soul separates from your body, it's your life ceases to exist.
Right, okay.
Your life is still there, but in a metaphysical world.
Right, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which you and I haven't seen. And that's the reason we go back to the scripture. Okay? We have to believe in the prophets, in his books, and in his angels, and in the life after that. And you know this, and obviously God Almighty, and these are the, we believe in decree as well, and these are the 6 articles of faith in Islam. Yes? So, آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَمَلَائِكَتِهِ وَكُتُبِهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. Yes? And وَالْقَضَى. So these are the 6 articles of faith which we believe in, and you have to believe that based on the scripture again. You see? Because, like I said, this life is temporary. One day we will die, and then what happens is something that we have to ponder on. Okay? Because, you know, I ask this question normally to atheists. There's something called the Pascal's wager. I don't know if you heard of it.
No.
Okay, so it goes something like this, that if you and I, we live our life the way we want, yes, and then one day we die, and then we just perish. We cease to exist. That is the end for us. So regardless of what you believed in your life or what I believed in my life,
right,
it's irrelevant. We both will perish, and there is no consequences after that. No eternal life, no day of judgment, nothing. Okay? Then neither of us really lose anything, do we?
Right.
Okay? I mean, maybe, okay, I might lose as a person who believes in God certain comforts which I did not enjoy. When I say comforts, I mean, you know, things which the world would call enjoyment.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like drinking or maybe drug abuse and all these things. Because these people, they say they enjoy it. Yes? I haven't, alhamdulillah, haven't touched that. And this is something that I know that I don't want to. Yes? So maybe in their eyesight, they think that I have lost out on this, the enjoyments of this world. But to me, that's irrelevant again. But at the end is the same for both of us. That neither of us really risked anything or lost anything. But now if I flip the situation, and then there is a life after that, there is God, and He's going to hold you accountable. And there is, on the day of judgment, He'll hold you accountable, and the consequences you will realize as a reward or punishment, as heaven or hell. Yeah?
I gotta go soon.
Yeah, a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, in that case, who really lost out? The person who prepared for the afterlife, or the person?
Obviously, it'll be the atheist who believes.
Yeah,
that
who
there's no
never
afterlife.
prepared or never thought of the afterlife. And that is the reason, my friend, even though you might believe in God, but then if you lead your life the way you want, rather than the way God ordained it for you, yes, and trust me, all those things which God has prohibited in the Quran, you and I would agree with. Okay? So Allah has prohibited, for example, alcohol, drugs, you know, telling lies, murder, fornication, adultery, gambling. All these things are the vices which you and I will disagree with, that they shouldn't be part of our society.
Yeah.
It not only corrupts the individual, it corrupts the family. When I say corrupt, it has an impact on them, and it has impact on the society, and obviously it has an impact on everything, isn't it? The cost in the NHS goes up from the drink abuse and the alcohol abuse and the drug abuse and so on. Yes, we are the ones paying for that. Our tax money is what's being basically going because of the abuse of these people who they can be well educated, but on a Saturday night you'll see them puking and falling on the streets. Yes, like animals.
No, of course.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So if Allah has forbidden something in the Quran, it is for our good. It is not to snatch your freedom away. Allah still gives you the freedom, your free will, to choose what is right and what is wrong. Yes? To use your probabilities.
You know what?
As you wish.
Like, I gotta go. Like, I can speak to you about this for days, really.
Yes,
so obviously
inshallah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
You said that you want to give me a
Yeah,
Quran
of course.
as well.
Yeah, we'll give you a Quran. I think I got one in the bag, bro.
Yeah,
Can
no,
you just
it
check?
was good speaking to you, but I've got like a
Yeah.
lot of thoughts that I can like bring up and stuff.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Kind of, like, have a little argument going back and forth.
Yeah, so
but-
come back again when you have a chance.
I'll come back again.
We are here on Sundays.
Okay.
But I would really like you to investigate and look into Islam.
But to be fair, obviously I haven't looked at it in depth.
Yeah.
But like obviously I've got my own views and my own beliefs based on my
We all do.
own,
Yeah, we all do.
my own, you know, like
Yeah.
circumstances and what I've lived through type thing.
Of course.
So
Your parents, are they religious or?
I guess they are, yeah.
So this is a Quran, it's a free gift for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, it's in English, so you can read it, inshallah. And if you got questions, you got anything that you want to clarify, you're more than welcome. We are here on Sundays. Other brothers here also, they come here.
Definitely.
Yeah. What's your name again?
Roger.
Roger. I'll see you again. You take
All
care.
right, you
Very
too.
nice
Have a
speaking
good
to
one.
you. All right. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.